Oh my goodness! Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, welcome in. Good evening, everyone. I am Almantas, former professor, current VTuber, old man who loves old things. And just so that the folks who are in the call with me are aware, I did in fact set up the sources. You are live. Hello, hello. Yeah, I somehow managed to do a special carve out just for Bug. I've only muted Bug, but in a special secret way where it only applies to chat. Only they can't hear you. I can hear you. Yeah. That would be so good. Also really annoying to set up, so I did not do that. Yep. Archibald and Suhigan, thank you for the follows. But yes. I saw my friend Inari was live like an hour ago, and I was like, what do I do with the next hour before I go live? And I was like, oh, she's got open collab chat, so I just jumped in, and then I just hung out, and now I'm here, and I dragged them with me. Oh, no. Oh, apparently they say they can't hear you. Fuck. I was wrong. There we go.
Why they couldn't hear us?
Okay, now you are live. Now you're live and you're super loud. Fuck. That was like several minutes. I thank you for telling me.
Hi.
Thank you. Hello. Yes. So we did actually accomplish it. We did actually accomplish it. Bug was muted, but I could still hear her. But yes,
we're so back.
We're infinitely back. And I'm small. Thank you for the small.
Small Mantis.
Small Mantis.
Yeah, the small Mantis. Yeah. Oh, Sociological Haven. Thank you for the first time chat. But yeah. I don't know. I didn't have a plan. Inari did have a plan. But
I did have a plan, and then somebody's power decided to just go out, so we were just like, yeah, I'm gonna stream. And then I was like slowly brain deteriorating. I'm like, I need to go to sleep.
I am concerned about, that's the thing that happens, right? Like I'm like a very like stubborn streamer, so I just like kind of like stick with it as much as I can. Though I have finally given up the ghost on the. I've given up the icy grip of like, if I put it on the schedule, I have to do it. I have now adopted the stance of like, if I'm doing something on stream and I'm spending my entire stream thinking about how I want to do something else that's actually pretty streamable.
Mm-hmm.
I just do that.
Just do it. Just do it. Yeah. No, that's understandable though.
I used to be very, very stubborn about it. About just like, no, I said I was going to play, I don't know, Endless Space or whatever. I'm just sticking with it, even though I'm going to be thinking about V-Rising the whole time. I'm like, no, that's stupid. Can you tell Bug to check DMs, please?
That's funny. Damn. That's funny.
Yeah, I got you.
We are getting complicated here. We're getting complicated. But yes.
Okay, thank you, Archibald. Wait, hold on. New reactive. New reactive just dropped.
Hello? New reactions just dropped?
Hold on.
Hello?
Hold on. Oh? Everybody calm down. Everybody needs to calm down. This is the worst. This is so bad. This one's
Jar Blue, thank you for the follow. Is it a food?
Jarvis, go to sleep!
That was not Jarvis, it was Jar Blue, unless that's also
yeah,
Jarvis.
Jar Blue is Jarvis.
Oh.
Alright, this is a good reaction.
Yeah, he's
wow,
Jar Blue.
That's a rough one, buddy.
Oh my god, what is that?
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that is
orange.
That is one. That is certainly a thing.
Orange bug. Oh my god.
Weren't you glad it didn't say banana?
I don't like that it's looking at me.
It's looking at you like hungrily too, right?
I know. I don't like that.
This is the
Morp
new
switch places. Morp switch places. I don't want to be here.
Switch places.
Switch places. I don't want to be here.
Oh shit, Morp's here. I thought Morp had pulled the traditional Morpo move of just
no, Morp's been here.
Just leaving
no, he
the
came
collab.
back at some point.
No, I had to leave. Fucking I'll text him group stuff.
Okay.
We're on Almantas' stream now, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You've gone to the stream that makes you old.
We've been kidnapped.
by Inari. Inari's doing.
Is my stream also?
Stop saying I kidnap people.
The human.
Is my stream also the stream that makes you old?
Your stream
Probably.
I guess it depends, right? Like this is one of those. This is one of those things, right? Of like what is the what is the effect, right, of different things on a person's brain? Because like you come to my stream and I'm like talking about like actual history and like doing traditional art and stuff. But like Bug is like here's what 2006 was like.
Remember 2006?
It's so
and people were like, no, and I'm like, oh,
they apparently are not because they don't remember friggin' Superman. Like,
I can't believe nobody remembered fucking.
I am staggered by that. I am blown away.
I don't understand. I don't understand how my life is real.
I am like partially amused by this because this implies that like people are coming to like the nostalgia streamer, but like not for any of the things that they're nostalgic for. just like a simulation of a simulacra of nostalgia, which is itself just a memory of an event. Just like I
don't want to think about that. I'm gonna get like existential.
It's like nostalgia, but instead of just like looking in a mirror back at yourself, it's like when you're in one of those bathrooms that has mirrors on both walls.
My stream is a retirement home.
Nice.
That's where you go when you are old.
Yeah, mine's more like a living history village.
Yeah, I guess my stream is where you go when you're old.
Yeah, that happens. Celium Haven, thank you for the follow.
Because everybody's like, oh, I remember 2006.
And the question is like, how well do they remember 2006?
The answer is actually worse than you would think. Most people don't actually remember 2006.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by how
people are like, the 360 came out the year before 2006. It's like, yeah.
Which does mess with my head, right? Because like I am not immune to that particular one, because I'm like 2006 is like I'm just like I feel like 2000. I guess it's kind of like around the time I like really dropped off of gaming.
Yeah.
So like it's 2006 is like very abstract. 2006 like I'm just like, oh, like game consoles kind of end with like the GameCube. Like if it's newer than the GameCube, it's like not a it's
not real.
It's just the future.
The GameCube was fucking like way before. It was like right?
It's oh, Kara, thank you for the raid. Hello, Kara, soon.
It's Kara.
Did you have a plan for today's stream, by the way?
Me? No.
You have a gorilla? Yeah, he's been like saying, I'm gonna do a gorilla stream for like this week. That's what he said.
Yeah, no, I cannot reason. It is functionally impossible for me to stream tomorrow or Wednesday and possibly Thursday. Maybe Friday.
Okay.
Maybe also Saturday. I don't know. My week is very messy.
Busy, yeah. Like me.
Yeah, it's a very. I would say it's messy more than it's busy.
Messy.
I am counting on some. I'm counting on a particular service calling me back and like telling me when they're available for some stuff, and I don't know when they are. But yes, Karatsun. Karatsun is a lovely lady. She is one of the brattiest VTubers out there, and I know that there are folks who are into that. She plays a lot of Warframe. I've played some Warframe with her. Yeah, Kara has like 3 different grab emotes for like emotes of grabbing her. It's very funny.
Damn.
Should I tell you?
Nari, cover your ears? Why?
Because I'm embarrassing her in front of you.
Oh, no, my ears are completely open. I'm listening to all of this right now.
Damn, kind of harsh.
That's cute. That's adorable.
I love Kara. I think Kara's amazing. I think she's a lovely lady. But she's also very fun to make fun of. And Shishelium, I have like 3,000 plus hours of Warframe. I've played. It's my most played game.
Oh,
it is my most played game by like a fair amount.
I also have a lot of hours in Warframe.
Yeah.
I also have a lot of hours in Warframe.
I think about playing it every so often, and then I like think about my life choices that have led me to this decision, and I go, I shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea.
It's one of those games that, like, for me, it's like pure texture, and it's like interesting to see the contrast between folks who like play Warframe. I'm playing Warframe just like purely for the feel of being a flippy ninja. Like it's like all texture to me. And then like I talked to some people and they're like, oh yeah, like once I got to like a certain like level of mastery, I was just like, well, I've completed the game, so like there's nothing else to do. And I'm like, what the heck?
I play for number go up.
Yeah, I don't play for number go up. I play for I play for how big can I make number go up and how good can I look doing it. 6,800 is, you're one of the few people, especially who's I've ever met who has larger Warframe numbers than me. That's a very big number. I also play for like the silly interactions. So like one of those ones because Fishelium is an Atlas main, and if people don't know this, Atlas's summons in it, the rock guys, the big rock boys who you summon, their size scales with your power strength.
Oh.
So if you have less than 100% power strength, they're tiny.
Oh. Interesting.
So you have these little guys going around. Just little guys. Just little guys. Is it optimal?
Nice.
Absolutely not. Just absolutely not optimal. But it is nice to have the little guys. I like having the little guys, the cute little guys. But anyway, I've been very rude. I've been a horrible host here. I have been joined by 4 different VTubers who I am friends with, and I managed, and I think I put all of your names in the title, even though Morp's name always fights me.
I always want to type Morp's old username.
Morp Flagella Bonfire.
Everybody fucking begged me to change my name to Entity Morp. And then I finally changed it, and everybody wants to just use the old name. I'm like, God damn it, I can't win.
There is no winning in Bossing Say.
You can't win. There's no war in Bossing Say.
There's no war in Bossing Say.
Oh,
there isn't. There isn't a war in Bossing Say. You just close your eyes, close your ears.
Didn't happen.
There's no Morp in Bossing Say.
There's no Morp in Bossing Say.
Exactly.
But yes. So yes, I am joined by Bug VT.
Hi.
Bug VT is stuck in 2006. She's trapped in 2006, and that means that Unity is somehow even worse than it is for the rest of us. And Inari, who is Inari.
Hi. Hello.
Hey.
I'm just the gremlin living in your walls.
She has tons of voice redeems, and if she's singing karaoke, she will perform the voice redeems. So we've got her to sing Evangelion entirely in Yaz.
Oh my god.
I love that one. And Morp Entity, who's a more talented voice actor.
I'm a backrooms cat that I do funny things. I also drive a truck every once in a while. I'm trying to figure out how to drive a truck across America.
Oh my god. We're Entity.
And I also
we're Entity.
Sanjo.
Oh, Sanjo is here. I was wondering if Sanjo was dead.
Yeah. I'm just listening.
Yes, Sanjo, do you care to introduce yourself to the class?
Oh, I would love to. Hi, I am Sanjo. I am a cursed immortal samurai.
Yeah.
I love to do horror, singing, and voice acting. So.
Yes, excellent. And Inari, I think you were trying to go to bed, or do you want to? If you want to hang out here, that's fine. I'm not going to yell at you as much as you yell at Jarvis. But
I have a meeting soon, apparently, so I'm gonna stay here awake until that meeting. I was gonna go to sleep, but no, apparently not. Whee!
Poor Inari. Poor Inari.
Eee.
I gotta flashbang everybody.
Oh, actually, Almantas, you want to hear something fucked up and sick and twisted?
Yes, let's get twisted.
I played a game that came out this year on stream today.
What?
I did see that.
Damn.
It looks old.
I mean, that's my thing, right? That's like my classic thing, right? Is
retro is a vibe.
Well, I come from academia, right? I come from the academic world, and like retro to academics and to fashion people, for that matter. It's not just the turbo nerds. To folks who are not gamers, retro doesn't just mean old. Retro means like looking backwards, right? Like if you go around in like a zoot suit, like that's being retro. But if you find like a picture of a guy in the 30s wearing a zoot suit, that's just an old picture. It's not retro. So like, I don't know. This is like my hot take. Like,
it's insane to me that 2010 is considered retro at this point.
I have become like a terrorist about it, and I'm like I'm trying to push it forward. I'm trying to convince people that Dark Souls is retro.
I don't like it.
we're like a year out. We're like a year out from Dark Souls being retro, according to the VTuber metric.
God.
No, it's 20. I think it's when did Dark Souls come out?
Like 2011, right?
It's 20. Yeah.
A lot of people use 15.
Nope, 2031. That's when it's retro.
Different people have different standards. Is also part of why it's crazy.
I also don't even agree with my 20 metric. Because the 360 is not retro, and that's over 20 years old now.
To me personally, I feel like it needs to have like a number of pixels and or polygons that I can count.
Like, yeah, I go by technological advancement as well.
Like it's like a if it has like the level of polygons where you can make like actual smooth curves, it's like that's not that feels modern to me. It's just like purely emotive to me. It's purely emotive. It's not like I don't have.
Okay, so what about adding a distinction then? What about adding a distinction?
Could you
elaborate? We have retro, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have modern.
Okay.
What about pre-modern?
I would actually be kind of down for like trying to create a movement for like prehistoric gaming as like a concept for TTRPG. Like
yeah, so it's like you have like 90s would be retro, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then pre-modern,
like
yeah, shit like that. And then I'd say like Vice City.
Did you say Pong was 90s?
No. Pong is prehistoric.
Pong is prehistoric?
Yeah. So Pong is prehistoric, and then retro would be like fucking, I'd say early 90s to 2004.
Retro's like Fortnite.
Mm.
And then I'd say probably pre-modern would be 2005 to probably 2010.
Sounds right.
I feel like after 2010 is when we had like that big graphical enhancement where games started looking really good. Because that's around when The Last of Us came out too, and GTA.
I couldn't find where the Foogies were in this scene, and it turns out they were just really
and
tiny.
Then I'd say 2011 onward is modern. Because that's when you see like The Last of Us come out, you have GTA come out, you have fucking or GTA 5 specifically, Dark Souls and shit, yeah. And the graphics are good enough to the point where, they look pretty fucking nice. Even games that came out during that time, played again today, still hold up graphically. Final Fantasy is good.
I don't think games look particularly much better nowadays than they did like a couple years ago.
I think they look better, and I say that mainly because we dropped the yellow filter.
I liked yellow filter.
I tend to feel like there are basically just like a couple of eras where games look like really bad. And one is like mid 80s arcade.
Yeah.
It looks like really rough. It's like really gross. And then there's, I shouldn't even say mid 80s, probably like early 80s arcade. And then there's like PlayStation 1 era 3D graphics is like the most hideous fucking graphical era.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I was baffled at the time, and I remain baffled. Like the breathless articles that were written at the time about Final Fantasy VII being like the most gorgeous game ever made, and I'm just like, this is like awful. This is hideous.
A lot of PS1 games look awful. And then but then also you have Metal Gear Solid 1.
Looks pretty good.
Looks great.
Yeah, I recently replayed it. It's definitely got a vibe to it. It's definitely got a verb. And it's definitely not like just the era, because like I can think of like plenty of N64 games that look great. Blast Corps for the N64. Otherwise pretty bad game.
Oh yeah, Blast Corps looks crazy.
Blast Corps looks crazy.
Oh yeah.
And like I don't know if I'd say Quest 64 is good, but it definitely has like a certain vivacity to it.
I think as well, there are just certain games that, depending on the developer that made them, are designed to look good long past when they come out, like 10 years after they come out even. Like graphically, gameplay wise, maybe they look a little bit lesser, but cinematic, like cutscene wise, they stand up 10 years later. Like I think Last of Us is probably a great example of that, because it came out in 2013, but the graphics still look fucking, like I'm talking like original one before Sony milked it. The graphics look pretty fucking good. Same thing with GTA 5. I think which Final Fantasy came out in 2010?
Genuinely don't know. I have no idea.
That's fair, but like you get my point. Like Squeenix like normally goes hard on the fucking cinematics and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Capcom, they also do that with Resident Evil and shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because even like the worst Resident Evil game still has pretty okay graphics, cinematically speaking, nowadays.
I will not lie. Mostly when I think about video game graphics, I tend to think way more about like the design language than just like the fidelity. And so one of the games that I end up highlighting all the time as a really gorgeous game is World of Warcraft.
That is true, though.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah,
it looks fantastic. Like it's like there's like no. That's like one of the things I've always said about like why has World of Warcraft been so successful. And it's like it looks fantastic even if you try to run it on a potato.
Yep.
And like if you're doing an MMO, like that's a very valuable quality to have, like. Because with an MMO, quantity is a quality all its own.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you've got an MMO that's dead, that causes the few remaining players to drop out. You know, you got to keep the people... Got to keep the people loving it. And I mean, WoW has been very consistent on that, right? Always had good graphic on that. But yeah, like the PS1 era one, I just like always feel like it's such like a drop off in quality, especially because like you compare a lot of those PS1 games to even like Donkey Kong Country for the SNES, and it's like, oh, this looks like ass.
Realistically, it's because it was very hard to dev. It took a long time for devs to get comfortable with with the PS1.
Yeah.
That's why N64 games out the gate just looked and ran better.
Yeah.
It's because Nintendo was like, we need to make this easy to dev for. And Sony was like, we don't need to waste time with that. And then they did it again with the PS2, and then they did it again with the PS3, and then they did
And it winds up feeling crazy, particularly in the case of the PS1, because it's like, the PS1 has so many third-party titles.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the two. The PS1 and 2 have an insane number of third-party titles. Like, that was the thing I really remember about that era of gaming, is like, the N64 felt like it had such a small library.
That's kind of always been Nintendo. It's because Nintendo, like,
Yeah, Nintendo's pretty restrictive.
They're strict about third parties, even to this day. Actually, less so to this day.
I was gonna say, I
As
feel
long
like
as
they've
it's
got.
like an eShop only release, they don't care.
I was gonna say, I keep,
But if
like
it-
every time I see like a PG-13 or higher game get released for like the Wii or something like that, I'm like, hold on, what?
Oh, the Wii had like, I think the Wii has the record for most games on a console.
Really? I thought the NES was gonna hold that one for a while.
No, I think it's the Wii because the Wii shop was fucking crazy, just full of slop.
Hell yeah. But yeah, like one of
It
them
was
had
so
like
bad.
Doom Eternal or something. But somebody's like, I'm playing like Doom Eternal on my Switch. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
What?
the Switch does have Doom Eternal.
And again, I'm just guessing on which one that was. I again, my last console was a GameCube, and that was like the tail end of me playing console. Did not even play a large percentage of the Switch era. I'm not the Switch, the GameCube era. This ink is so friggin' wet. But yeah. I don't know. It's the Wii was also at peak AA movie tie-in games.
God,
There's
there's
gotta-
so many.
There's got to be some people who are experts in like the movie tie-in thing. I always felt like the movie tie-in era was like the mid 2000s when there was like 15 Matrix movie tie-ins and like
I played so many movie tie-in games.
I was about to
None
say
of
you
them
feel
are
like
good.
you feel like you would be the expert. You do feel like you'd be the expert. I mean, Battlefront 2 was pretty good.
Yeah, so that's that dev team.
Yeah.
Pandemic.
Mhm.
Pandemic Studios.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think
know.
they made a bad game.
I loved Battlezone 2. Like that game, that's a unique game. That's a genuinely really interesting game.
Like some of their games are aggravating. Like Destroy All Humans is super aggravating to play,
Yeah.
but like it's good. Okay, export VR.
It's good.
Back to Unity, yay!
Yay!
You'll never be free of the Unity mines.
I'm gonna die.
I keep on thinking my favorite game dev, Christine Love, had a Twitter thread where she would update it with the "that makes me hit the desk" gif every time Unity crashed.
Jeez.
Luckily, since I'm not doing super in-depth dev in Unity, I think I've avoided crashing.
What I particularly remember was at some point she got even like more frustrated and started deep frying it. Just increasingly deep fried versions of the hit makes me hit the desk. Yeah, I actually hadn't thought about Pandemic in a while. Oh, congratulations on graduating, Moss Dragon, and condolences on
Congrats.
being
Congratulations.
Condolences on Unity. But
Yeah.
oh god damn it, I messed up in Blender. Fuck, I have to go back.
Thank you for persuading me to not to not
To not get not make a 3D Almantas model.
I've considered it, but
Well, specifically make is the key word here.
yeah, make.
I recommend if to not do this.
I'm probably not going to.
If you don't have the love for 3D, you're gonna scream.
I mean, I do find 3D kind of easier to work with than 2D.
Me too.
Just because like how my brain's wired, right? I
Yeah.
just like the part of the artistic skill that like I really struggle with is the part where like you reduce a 3D vision to a 2D
Yeah.
series of like lines and curves. Like that's the part that like really fucks me up. And like I can like play around in Blender, and I can be like, okay, I want to make like a torso. Like I kind of figure out how to do. Then like if I open up like Paint or something like that, and I try to draw a torso, I'm just like, what is this? This is nothing. But like that's just like how my brain's kind of wired. But other than that, I don't like have a love for 3D. I'm SciTech Priesta.
I prefer 3D. I've been doing a lot of 2D art in the last while, but I'm not. I don't love 2D. I don't love working in 2D.
I don't. I mean,
Well,
my art form is, of course, letters.
Yeah.
I love words. Words. I love the goddamn words. Which is why I wind up having like the dumbest critiques of movies. I'm just purely viewing it as script.
It happens.
Yeah. And like it's fun because like if I'm like talking to like some people, like I barely even notice it, but then like I'll talk to somebody who like actually understands cinema formalism, and it's like, oh, I am dumb as a post. Did you know about the word? What's the word? Is the word bird?
Bird.
Bird.
Oh,
Bird is the word.
bird,
Bird.
yeah.
Bird.
Here we go.
We're all boomers here.
Whoa.
You've
why
awoken
is
Bird
that-
Nari.
Pistache.
Here you go, Bird Nari. You got pistache.
Pistache.
I want a
Pistache.
pistachio, actually.
God, I want pistachio too. I would beat a man to death with a bat
I love
for some pistachio.
I love pistachio. They're so
Love
expensive.
Pistachio is so good. Oh my
Can I
god.
point out, I've said this before, but I don't think I said it on the chat. I've had Dubai chocolate for the first time, like homemade. Oh my fucking god, that shit's so good.
Yeah.
Why is it
You know what?
$10,000?
I'm gonna go get one. It's in my
Oh,
fridge. I'll be
no.
right back.
Fucking what? Dubai chocolate?
Yeah.
Nah, we got this for like fucking $2.
It's
No,
not
no,
that
no.
expensive.
Yeah, but like if you want to order it, it's like a crazy high price.
Oh my
It's just like,
god.
there's
Yeah.
no way this is worth that much. It's like $20 a bar or something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go get Dubai chocolate from my fridge. I'll be right back.
I am an absolute sicko. I just make my own chocolate bars. That one was not like a substantial labor
Classic
ad.
anime, simple cutout. Does this work? Yay, Unity.
I can't believe Unity's cooperating with you for once.
Build mod. I have chocolate, but they are more medicine than candy.
Elaborate on that. Elaborate on that. Like
I'm also curious.
I am curious, Sociology.
Wait, oh, this looks great.
Um,
Wait, I'm so goated.
Tech Priesta asks, what calligraphy font is this? And does calligraphy even have fonts? So if we're being really pedantic, and you did ask the
Do we
pedantry
look-
question, technically no. If we're being like really, really pedantic, font actually just refers to the size of the letters. So if you're printing, the different styles are typefaces, and a font is just the size of it. So that's being very technical. And in calligraphy, they're called scripts. Hello, Dead Era. Hello. I wish I could draw the snails, because that's always so cute, the fighting snails part.
Oh, shit. Wait.
This is Gothic. This is textura quadrata is the Latin for it. Sometimes also called black letter, but I am doing some traditional Gothic today. I find Gothic to be very difficult, which is kind of an interesting challenge, and people like it. So it rewards me doing lots of practice, and I like doing lots of practice. So I'm doing it because it's popular. It's what I get commissioned for by far and away the most. I will confess it is not the script that I am the most comfortable with. because that would be Batard. But yeah, this is Gothic. Okay, and we did get an answer, Bug.
Oh, hold on. Weed. I understand now.
Weed.
My preferred script is Batard. I will finish this sentence because I'm doing pangrams, because I always like to warm up with pangrams, and I'll show a little bit of what Batard looks like. I really need to like actually make like a portfolio and like a sampler of what my scripts look like. But I am being a lazy bones and just doing things that I like.
Sometimes that's what you need.
I don't even know if I'm being lazy. I'm just like not managing my time efficiently. Getting distracted by small projects.
Me too.
I mean, hey, is it making you happy?
Yeah. I don't actually know what
matters?
I don't actually know if this qualifies as like a small project. My attempts at learning kanji.
It is.
It is a small project.
Whoa!
I've got like a couple hundred pages like this.
Whoa!
Like this
That's
Oh my gosh.
crazy. Sugo?
This is pretty much all today.
What the?
It's I think it's pretty realistic for me to pass N2 this year. Challenging, but I think possible.
Wow.
Wait, no? Wait, what? Eh?
Might actually know more kanji than I do.
That is actually possible.
Mm-hmm.
I know
When I left you, I was but a
about
learner.
2000.
Oh, that's crazy.
Admittedly, it's like also it's also really funny because like I like this is like I've been like doing a very concerted like lunge of learning kanji for the past couple months, and it's like I'm learning them like way outside of my actual ability to like speak and read Japanese. So like I'll be like trying to read like a news article or a short story in Japanese, and like I'll be able to read like some of the kanji in Japanese, and then I'll be like, and then like there's ones like I know what they are, but I'm like, oh, this is like the concept of prisons, or something like that. And like I don't actually like know how to pronounce it off the top of my head. I'm like this is tightening. That's what that kanji means. I'm like, okay, this is like so it's like in my head I'm like reading it in Japanese, and then there's just like brief moments of like English intrusion and like total abstraction.
Do you struggle with kunyomi and onyomi a lot?
I mean,
By any chance?
I don't know if struggle is the right word. Fuck up constantly is correct. Constant mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if anybody like. I think like maybe I will be one of the people who's like better suited to it because I'm a very like memorization focused person. But like I genuinely don't know like anybody. I've like never even heard of a person who just like finds it intuitive to read kanji the correct way.
That's true though.
Like literally nobody.
It's sometimes very difficult.
It's sometimes very
what I
very
realized.
difficult. And it's decreasing, but like I definitely like I like almost every person I know who's like spent time in Japan, almost every American like has a stories of like going to Aomori or something and meeting some old person with like a hideous kira name. It's like a multi-layer pun. Yeah, like a horrible multi-layer pun with like no intuitive readings at all. It's like
no, I get it. Yeah.
So
I get it.
Yeah, like
I don't know where that concept of kira name even came from.
I don't know where the like the word kira name or like the concept of doing it in general.
The concept of doing it in general. I wonder why people thought kira name all of a sudden was just like a thing.
I mean, when I think of Kyoto Kid, like the names that I think associated with the most are like old, like I think of that. I think of it as like a concept that like the Japanese government has been tamping down on because they decided it was really cruel to have your kid have a name that's like impossible to read.
I think there was like a law that was initiated or something where like exactly right. Yeah. So
yeah. So like the people I've met with like the truly insane names, they're like born before like 1950.
Oh my god.
Like truly wacky ones. And then like
it's getting worse though as of recent.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a pendulum swing back to it, and I'm guessing it's just like a sense of humor thing.
Oh my god.
Japanese sense of humor.
Japanese sense of humor for their children is kind of crazy though.
I mean, one of my favorite moments in all of history of everything I've watched is there's an old Japanese TV show like 80s era that was they had this team of investigative journalists that would investigate insane problems. And one of them was, why is my dog so fat? And it was this housewife in rural Japan, and she had this dog named Sachan. And Sachan was fat. Sachan was enormous. Sachan looked like an overstuffed sausage with like nubs coming out.
No.
I love Sachan. I love Sachan. I love Sachan so fucking much. I love this dog so much. And so like the journalists show up, these TV journalists show up to this house, and it's this old Japanese country home, and they're like, okay, so where's Sachan? Socialium hasn't seen this before, so that means that I get to show that Sakamanta's real.
You are Sakamanta's right now. Oh my god! Yeah, are you bringing that to con?
Yeah, of course.
Yay!
There's a really good photo of I think I showed it to you. The photo with me and
Nuna, right?
Yeah.
I remember this.
So they go and they're like, okay, where's Sachan? And they point to the dog, and I was like, oh yeah, that's Sachan. And they've got other dogs. They've got a couple other dogs. Oh, knocked out my light. Oh, Blastazar, thank you for the Prime. Thank you for the 10 months of Prime. Yes, and please get some rets. Blastazar is one of my VTubing brothers. And like, okay, this is Sachan, and then they point to one of the other dogs, and they're like, oh, who's this? And they're like, oh, that's Ichan. Right. Yeah. And then they look at and there's another dog, there's a third dog, and like, and who's this? And like, oh, it's Yo-chan. And then there's a toddler, and the news crew is like, oh, and who is this? And they go, oh, this is Ni-chan.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
It's so insane.
That's insane.
It's so insane. That's so insane.
What the fuck?
It's stuck in my brain for like 30 years at this point. For the people who don't speak Japanese, Sachan means the third. Right, it's number 3, and Ichan means number 1, and Yo-chan means number 4, and Ni-chan means number 2, but it's also not an insane thing to call a little kid because it also means older brother.
Yep,
and it's like a cute way of saying older brother. It's like a you could just call your son Ni-chan, like informally, like that's not that weird. Like that's fine. It's completely insane. What a I can't even imagine like what the equivalent would be with like English naming at all. Like I cannot figure out how you would do that.
It's like the same thing as saying like the second, the third in like the Roman numerals, basically.
Yeah.
Like something the second, something the third.
Well, and it's also like we just like don't have that convention in
True.
Like we just like there's no like English equivalent of like Hachirota.
True.
Which is just like a normal name, and it just means like the 8th son. And like it's just like a fine name to have like a number in it, and like we just don't do that in English. Japanese are entirely unique in this. Mayan names often have numbers in them. But yeah, like we just don't do that in English. Our names are like largely like professions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's like one of those moments that sticks with me of like Japanese jokes about names and like using names as jokes.
Yeah.
And like part of it's just like how much pun you can do in Japanese. Like English punning is so limited compared to Japanese punning.
True. That's very true. Oh, I gotta go.
You do got to go. Go
I
work.
do have to go.
I just sat down and I also need to get going.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to sleep.
Okay.
We need
okay.
to go.
Okay,
Bye
folks.
bye,
Okay. I mean, thank you all
Almantas.
for stopping by
Thanks for
for an
having
hour.
me.
Absolutely.
for having us.
I love all of you. I always adore
Yeah.
being to do
We need
collabs
to do
with
more
you.
stuff.
We do need to do
We
more
need to-
stuff. We do
You
need
need to
do-
grab me for stuff.
I did not grab anybody for anything this week. I even actually canceled my one collab I had planned out.
Yeah.
Because I had too
Oh
much
damn!
chaos.
I can relate to that.
I had too much chaos.
Well, not for chaos. Spectrum sucks.
Yeah, no, I had
Computer
a
sucks.
I was going to be doing the next Monster Prom collab this Friday, but I canceled because I can't actually. I'm not actually sure if I'll be available this Friday.
Yeah.
You folks, you fuckers, you entity, you should do Monster Prom.
We
If you got-
should.
Should.
Perhaps. We'll see.
It's a great opportunity for doing VA stuff.
We'll grab. I think I have an idea of who I might bring into that. So
I volunteer, but if you got somebody else in mind, go for it.
no, I'm grabbing you.
Oh, okay.
It's 4 people, right?
It's 4 people. It's 4 people.
Okay. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. All of Entity
bye.
is retreating. Goodbye. Thank you all for being here.
Bye. Good luck on
Bye.
call.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
And shout out. Hold on, I can never get his name right. There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're staying. Let me make you a little bit smaller because I made
yeah,
the
just a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. There we go. How are you doing, Sanjo? How are you
Yeah,
doing, Sanjo?
I'm doing good. Doing good. I was just listening in.
Just listening in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And actually, hold on. Let me finish this word, and then I will. How do I want to do this R? There's a couple different ways with Batard to do ours. I love the Batard Ds. But yeah. You are now here for a little bit of a calligraphy stream.
Oh,
I just changed the stream info.
yeah, no worries.
That's Zanjo. There we go.
I'm not overstaying him because I don't want to be like rude or anything.
Oh no, you're good. But if you need to leave,
Okay.
if you need to leave,
Oh, no. Yeah.
I mean the three of them already just bailed. I'm just doing Socialium, I just try to have a kind of pleasant, a little bit of a pleasant time on these streams. I am a big nerd. I'm a big old nerd, and cramping up that finger a little bit. And I like doing calligraphy, and I don't know. It's a good way to keep my hands occupied while I yap, you know.
Yeah.
Because I am mostly a just chatting specialist, mostly a Zatsu specialist.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm not the best at talking in conversations.
oh, it's okay. It's okay.
I saw this as an opportunity to kind of like talk to you because I never really got to talk to you much.
Yeah, no, we haven't actually done a collab together like this. I think we may have overlapped on some Inari collabs because Inari does a fair number of like very impromptu collabs, right?
Like popping calls and stuff like that.
Yeah, she was a fair number of just like total pop ends, which is a neat format, and I should probably take that up. I don't know. I think the main reason why I haven't done that is because like in order for it to feel okay for me, I would need to like create a Discord role for like these are the people who I actually consider like the people who I would trust for this, and I am worried that I would hurt somebody's feelings by like not including them on that list who like felt like they were entitled to it. But maybe I'm overthinking it. Probably
I can understand that too.
Yeah,
I can understand that because I kind of feel the same way sometimes because I have the same thing. I have a similar thing I do, but it feels like
Also, since we've only got one person here right now, how is Zanjo sounding? I think I can put you up a few decibels.
Hope not too quiet. I'm very soft spoken, so
yeah, you are soft. Well, and Morp was like blowing it out. I probably should spend some more time. Oh, one of the messages got eaten by Chatterino. What is your opinion on the Orkin script from Warframe? Warframe, I don't know what to think about the Orkin script. I think it's like a little excessively elaborate, and like once I realized that it's just like a cipher for English, I was not very interested. I like before people figured out how to translate it, there was years where people thought it was just like a full language or gibberish, and I think either of those would be preferable to it's just English but looks funny. It's just encoded English. But I mean it's elaborate, which is always a nice thing. I actually like the look of the Grenier script a lot, and the Corpus one for that matter. I like both of those better than the Orkin one. But yeah.
I had a question. So I noticed like I noticed the point redeems.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, are they just particular dates?
Yes, those are historical dates.
Okay, I was looking at those like, oh, these are like
not
normal.
100% of them are.
Not all of them, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Ads are about to start in a few minutes. I will take that as a moment to use the bathroom when we get to the ads. So I will put it on the away screen. But small Monthos and tall Monthos are not based on a date. And neither is goodbye. I didn't think I had to choose an emote. I should disable that one. Neither is teacher. I have a question. Those are not based on dates. But flip the light is the Hajj. When I have Ada enabled, it's I think it's the Qing Dynasty is what I went with for that one. Founding of the Qing Dynasty. Name something after me, I believe, is Wang Anshe's new policy, whereas Sak Mantas is the Battle of Stirling Bridge. I think it was 1267. I don't remember 1267. What is 1267? That's sometime during the Yen Dynasty. What was happening in Europe at that time? I can't remember one of my own. This is why I have them. So it helps reinforce my memory. Almantas is based on the Tutankhamun's burial, and that's partially chosen because Tutankhamun was buried with almonds, and so it's like one of our rare pieces of true hard historical evidence of people eating almonds. Toggle glasses is fall of the Ming Dynasty. Toggle coat is Treaty of Westphalia, and I actually also forgot what 1676 is. So, oops, on those fronts.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's oops for me. What is you have to look this up. 1676 in history. And I'm probably going to change some of them. There's always a bit of a math to this, right? There's always a little bit of a question where you're trying to figure out you want your redeems to cost to be priced such like people redeem them as frequently as you want them to redeem them.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be like radically more, or you want them to be like you don't want to give them spam too much or too little. Yeah, I'm looking at like 1676 stuff on Wikipedia because it would probably be something from here. There's a bunch of American things.
1676.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I can't remember why I chose it. That's probably something I should change it.
Is there anything related to like a scarf?
That's a good question. I don't know a lot of my sartorial history is not that strong. So that's definitely something I could like work on more. Oh, it was Bacon's Rebellion. It had to be Bacon's Rebellion. That's an important date. That is a big one. How do I do a capital B in Gothic? For people who might not be familiar with Bacon's Rebellion, Bacon's Rebellion is an event in American history where a guy named Bacon started a rebellion, right? He started a rebellion against the government of Virginia. And this is like this really massive watershed moment in American history because that, like, we have smoking gun evidence from the aftermath of that. This is a terrible capital B. I did an awful job there. We have smoking gun evidence, like letters, handwritten letters. I've even read some of them. That the rich people of Virginia looked at what happened there and said, we need to create a wedge between the indentured servants and the slaves, because it had been a combined indentured servant slave rebellion. And so that's part of why they worked on developing a bunch of freedoms, like freedom of assembly, as cultural norms, because those were things that you could give to white people and not give to black people, but also not give the white people any additional economic rights. Yeah. So I think that's neat.
Yeah.
I think that's neat. Ads. Oh, I talked all the way through the ad break. Unfortunately, folks, I still need to use the restroom, so I will put up the fan and I'll be back in a minute. Give me a second. Oh, there we go. That's the one I want to use. Also, there's definitely a problem with my with the redeems. I did screw up something with the redeems. Oh, interesting. This was a. Oh wait, no, that's fine. Actually, that looks fine right now. That looks fine right now. Okay. Okay. And what was 1267? That wasn't Manziger, was it? Amusingly, I'm not actually that good with dates. I don't tend to rate it that important as a skill for studying.
Yeah.
history. Definitely
Or just knowing what happened.
Yeah, the reason why you care about
Yeah.
dates, right, is that the virtue of caring about dates is that is knowing like when is like not mixing up the order of when things happen.
Yeah.
That's the kind of important part, is like if you think that if you think that like if you get the order that things happen wrong, that makes your entire argument bad.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like you kind of need to know that, like, you know, the war was declared before the battle was fought kind of logic. As a rule, like you kind of like need to know that. And the thing is, like, as if you get more in depth with a type or a period of history, then you get like more and more familiar with the dates. So like people who are like real World War II nerds, like they will have things down to like the minute, right? They'll remember what happens at a given battle down to like 5-minute level precision. Whereas if you're doing like classical history, like, you know, particularly if you're doing like truly ancient history, if you're doing like Bronze Age stuff, I love the Bronze Age, like you're lucky if anybody knows anything at like better than decade level. Like it's you are nobody's got like any precision on those dates. It can be very, very difficult to tell. And also, Blue, thank you for the welcome back. And also, hello. It is late o'clock for you, Blue. I hope you're not staying up too late. But yeah, it's one of those things, like how much you care about dates partially does like matter. Like, how much does it matter for the type of argument you're making?
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Another question.
So
Sorry, it's kind of off topic, but it's something that's come running through my head. So like, what made you like study like kanji?
Oh, kanji? Kanji
yeah.
or calligraphy? 'Cause I got different answers.
Kanji.
Kanji? So I already speak some Japanese.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. 日本語はちょっとできます。上手でないてだよ。上手でないて。高校で勉強しました。I speak some amount of Japanese. I passed N4 years ago.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure I'm much better than I was at the time. I'm pretty sure I could pass N3 at this point. And I just I want to I don't know, I want to be okay at my second language. And I want to I want to be okay at my second language, and I want to feel that kind of competence. And I have found that studying kanji, and particularly the way I'm studying kanji, I actually find very satisfying as a practice. What I'm currently doing, I should say. Previously, I just studied it because it was part of learning Japanese, because I did study it in a formal context. But I actually rather enjoy it. I actually rather like it, and
what would you recommend for like people who are beginning? Like,
I guess it kind of depends.
I wouldn't start off with kanji, because then I think you start with hiragana when you first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Learn. If you are thinking about studying Japanese, I really strongly do recommend learning hiragana and katakana like immediately, like one of the first things, like before you even learn like some cool catchphrases, like learn because Japanese is a language that's very that's a lot more phonetically restricted than English. English has has a lot of different sounds that it uses, a very wide range of phonemes in use. Japanese actually has a fairly restricted number of phonemes. Very famously doesn't have a RL distinction. That's one of those that's very famous. But also also one of those ones that you pick up very naturally from just learning hiragana is that it doesn't do terminal consonant sounds.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've studied in Japanese or
a little bit.
A little bit. I don't know if
using Genki. So.
Using Genki. Genki's not bad. Genki's certainly better than using Duolingo.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's what you learn from one of those things that you may have picked up on is that you can only every consonant has to have a vowel after it, except for N. N you can have just N by itself. You can end a word with N, but you cannot end a word with a T. You cannot have stopped. It's scotto, right? Which also means you can't have the diphthong, right? If you're paying close attention there, you would have heard that was SU before the C sound. Scotto, sukato. And so that's one of those things I think is very valuable about learning the hiragana and katakana, because once you get familiar with that really that makes it a lot easier for you to understand what you're listening to.
Yeah.
It just reduces the amount of effort that goes into listening enormously. Once you understand what all the sounds actually are, because again, there's not very many of them. There's just not very many of them. And hello, Shakray. I think that the kana you can learn pretty fast. The kana is not a rough one to learn. It's not learning the kanji takes forever. There's thousands of kanji, and they're pronounced in all sorts of wacky way. There's only 93 kana, 93 kana, something like that. There's less than 100 kana, and they're always pronounced the same way. And that's even accounting for the fact that I'm counting katakana separately from hiragana, which is, whatever. And I'm not enjoying my capital B's here. Let's contrast it with a Betard B. Yeah, still did a bad job there, but not nearly as bad. I can do better. But yeah, so I do recommend making sure that you feel very confident with the kana. And I do think that different people have different learning techniques and different learning strategies.
Yeah.
I personally am a very writing focused person, right? You've got me doing my calligraphy right here. While I'm talking, I'm a very writing focused person. I find the written word and encoding things in writing and literary ways to be much easier for me. And I'm also not a very practical person at the end of the day. I'm a very rigid and systematic person. I'm definitely a person who will prioritize doing things by the book over doing things the way that makes the most sense in the moment. And so to me, it's very sensible to like what I'm doing right now is I'm just focusing on the kanji. I'm just going to learn the kanji, and then I'm going to worry about vocabulary and other parts.
Like conversational.
Yeah, well, and I can, speaking of Japanese, I can help people out who are lost. If somebody needs directions in New York, I've helped tourists out. I can't not converse in Japanese, but my vocabulary is pretty limited. And again, I'm this very systematic and impractical person. And I remember, every time I've gone back and tried to study Japanese, whenever I counter a new kanji that looks nothing like any previous kanji I've learned, it's very frustrating for me. And it struggles to stick it in my head. So doing it very systematically and in a very organized fashion has made it like easier when I have gone back and tried to learn some new vocabulary. Some kanji that like gave me trouble, like a kanji that gave me trouble for a very long time. You said you just got started, right? So you probably don't know this one.
Yeah, I kind of got started. Yeah.
I might need to pull up the brush.
Been
kind
of inconsistent.
But it's all good. It's all good. I mean,
yeah.
I've only been being consistent lately because I don't know, because it's kind of more fun for me than video games.
Yeah.
So it's. This is not like a particularly advanced kanji, but I still struggled with it for a very long time. And this is seimai. Seimai. It's crowded. But learning it just kind of like as like a random adjective was not very conducive for me, but learning it alongside, you know, other kanji that are, in terms of writing structure, related. So, you know, this is cheeks, and I hope I'm not going to embarrass myself by getting the order of the radicals incorrect, but, you know, gorge. Yeah, and they're all using this radical that indicates like crowding and squeezing. And it got a lot easier for me to learn it in that way, rather than just learn kanji kind of higgledy-piggledy. And so again, this is kind of like my brain, right? This is my brain. I'm not going to prescribe this for most people because again, I think I'm less practical than the average person. In terms of how I learn things, I think I'm a very systematic and rigid person in my educational techniques. And so I've always been a person who's kind of gone with like trying to do things according to like fairly strict rules, because that's like a lot less cognitive burden on me. Sometimes you can fudge the stroke order, but eventually people will yell at you for that. And I will say, like, I do get annoyed sometimes by stroke order, but not usually very frequently. There's a couple stroke orders that really mess me up. This is a stupid B. I shouldn't have done that. Let's do that a little bit less exaggerated. A little bit less curvature. Then... No, that's no good. That's no bueno.
You said that was kana, right?
These are kanji. These are kanji.
Kanji. I mean the thing you recommended.
Oh, I recommend learning the kana first. Yeah, hiragana and katakana. Get those down like really pat. Get those down like really smooth. Like it's I don't feel like I need to recommend that for like other parts of learning Japanese, but definitely the kana, because like again, that will teach you. That will not only be like, that'll help with learning how to read Japanese at a very fundamental level. Like, you just do need to learn those at some point. But I find in terms of like what helps early on, it helps a lot to understand what the limits of Japanese pronunciation are. And it's a relatively low-hanging fruit, right? Because like in English, we'll just start adopting sounds from other languages pretty like willy-nilly. I'm a New Yorker, and so I end up using a sound that most Americans like almost never use. How do you say the Jewish holiday for with the candles?
Hanukkah.
Yeah, you say Hanukkah, right? I've gotten used to saying Hanukkah. With the Hanukkah with the ch at the start. Hanukkah. Slightly
okay.
throaty. I don't say it as often Hanukkah because I for one thing it doesn't come up as often. For another thing, like people kind of just say Hanukkah. But like I do say chutzpah, right? I do say that. Oh, camera go bye bye. But yeah, like and that's just like literally just like people in like around where I live, right?
Yeah.
It's not what did the what's going on here? Camera shut down. iPhones, why are you iPhones? All right, that's fine. Yeah, holla. But yeah, it's like English has like a truly ridiculous number of phonemes that it's in use that we use.
Yeah.
So knowing that like Japanese only has 5 actual vowel sounds.
Oh,
and doesn't have a schwa. They don't use schwa in Japanese at all. That's pretty useful to know.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's like a good like building block, is a really good building block is the basic grammar, the really fundamental grammar. And I guess I can kind of just give you the very quick rundown right now. Do you know the concept of word order?
No, I don't think so now.
Okay. So, English is, so word order, and I'm specifically talking about the concept of grammatical word order for a basic sentence with a transitive verb. With a basic transitive verb.
Like word or
So like English is subject, verb, object.
Oh, okay, vaguely.
Yeah, we're subject, verb, object. So,
Yeah.
I talked to Zanjo, right? I dropped my pen. You know, that's subject, verb, object. The subject, there's a subject, and then there's a verb, and then there's the object. Japanese is subject, object, verb.
Wait, say what again? It was you said subject.
Subject, object, verb.
Subject. Okay.
私と残女と話しました. I Zanjo talked with. I Zanjo with talked, actually, would be more accurate.
Okay.
Or I and Zanjo both talked would, I think, be the most strict. And so like just knowing that at very basic levels, I think really important. And it's kind of the basic level of knowledge that leads to understanding Japanese as a language is very much about conjugation. Because English has very limited conjugation. We have very, very limited conjugation in English. Wow, that was a terrible B. The main conjugation that we have is we conjugate slightly for hold on just a second, I'm gonna fiddle with my camera a little bit here. We conjugate mainly for the purposes of like indicating who the who is not who is speaking, but who curious if you guys see all this. You don't. just doing some crap with my camera on the back end. iPhones are a pain in the neck. One of my dumbest purchases was getting an iPhone.
He struggles with that too.
Yeah. And the Japanese is very much about conjugation. So English has these conjugations like I run, she runs, we run, right? And then the other one we have is past tense. I ran, she ran, they ran, that kind of thing. Japanese conjugation is crazy. Japanese conjugation is absolute insanity. Japanese has conjugations that indicate politeness versus different levels of formality. That's actually like the worst part about learning Japanese is like, crap, got a bunch of ink on my hand. Is the way that Japanese interacts with all the rules about formality is like the worst part.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. And the that's definitely like as from my perspective, that's the worst part. And then there's
isn't there like honorifics, right? Like
there's honorifics, yes. Honorifics.
How you speak, yeah.
Honorifics. There's different personal pronouns that you use that kind of indicate different things. Watashi is kind of a good default, but there are people who use, boku and ore and atashi. There might even be somebody out there actually using ware on purpose. And there's a there's logic in meaning to when you use san versus chan versus kun versus sensei versus sama. Probably don't use dono ever. That's a goofball one. I only ever see that used for comedy purposes.
Oh yeah.
And that's so there's a lot of nonsense like that. There's a lot of that nonsense, and Lightbox Kun is like on fire right now. And yeah, there's conjugations to indicate past tense. There's conjugations to indicate informality. There's conjugations to indicate negative. The negative case, like that's not they don't have we use an auxiliary verb, right? So we say I did not run, right? I ran, I did not run. That would be, I spoke, I did not speak, hanasemashita, hanasemasen deshita. And so, and all of those are also modified by politeness. So, it goes from hanasemasen to hanasenai. This also how you indicate to want to do things is a conjugation. Right? Again, we use an auxiliary verb. I want to speak. Hanasetai. I want to speak hanasetai. I believe that's also where you mix in I'm actually doing it already. That's also where you put in the capability of doing things, like possible. Yeah. Like, is it possible? That's a verb conjugation. There's the verb conjugations are extremely load bearing in Japanese, and so knowing the sentence order allows you to kind of understand how like compound sentences work as well, because compound sentences work differently in Japanese than they do in English. So like get familiar and comfortable with the word order rules. Don't kill yourself over learning verb conjugations because like there's like hundreds of them. Like you're just gonna have to learn them as you go. And some of them are brutal.
Yeah.
They're like verb conjugations you like only use for like the royal family and stuff like that. It's dreadful. It is absolutely brutal. That's not a very good V. That's much better. You can even see like the shimmer and shine coming through on the camera. I look forward to being done with this ink bottle though. It's a very wet ink.
You said that was Gothic?
Yeah, well, the one this is Betard. What I was writing earlier was Gothic. These more rounded shapes is Betard, which is a variation on Gothic. It's derived very closely from Gothic, and it's from France. And I just like the roundness of it. Something about it speaks to me. The curves and the twists. This kind of thing I'm about to do with the G, I really like. Really like that. These waves, these wave shapes, make me very happy.
I noticed like the for like jukeboxes. Noticed the R is like the X is kind of like shaped like almost it looks like an R.
The X's X's are a pain in the ass in almost every script that I know. It's actually kind of interesting how I have felt about some of the different letter forms. I'm gonna get to the end of this line. I'm gonna just kind of show off. I'll just do some X's. I literally just misspelled a word in my haste. So there's a couple ways to do. There's in theory a couple of ways to do a Gothic X. So like, this is an option, and I think it sucks. I think this sucks. I don't like this one at all because I feel like this double footer thing, just like it's just not clear what's happening. I think it doesn't look like anything. It's always awkward. And so I kind of prefer this one where, you know, you do the dot cross and then a pull down stroke and then another dot cross down there. And then with the little part that came off here, I just pull down a little foot. And I do a kind of overlap there. And that's kind of why you do the cross, that cross stroke, that crossbar stroke, is to make it look less like an R. Because you're right, you know. Yeah. You're right. This is a Gothic R. And I usually add the little tooth to it. But you know, the X's, I feel like there's like no particularly good X's. You know, here's an italics X, which is like the best one. And I'm trying to remember how I do it in some of the other scripts. So I think that would be insular. How do I do it in Betard? Betard, I might literally just do the same thing I do for italic, but I just kind of try to do it a little bit tighter. Like, oof, not into it. X's constantly give me headaches. X's constantly give me headaches. Whereas W's are a constant joy to me. It is worth saying, if anybody's a pedantic nerd here, this is a Gothic W. The letter W is literally newer than Gothic.
Really?
As a script. Yep. W's are recent entries to the alphabet. Gothic is
really?
like the 1100s W. I think. I literally just watched a documentary on this like a month ago. Like Gothic, not Gothic. W is a relatively recent entry into the English language as a letter.
You know how recent? Or?
I can't remember, but I want to say 1600s. I want to say 1600s, and I think might need to be cleaned. And yeah, here's an insular. An insular W. Lovely. You know, looks lovely. And legitimately one of my favorite letters to write on the entire planet. The Betard W. I love the Betard W. Absolutely adore it. So yeah, you can like see this kind of contrast between these. These ones I really struggle to like convey clearly and meaningfully, and these ones are just absolute joys.
Yeah, I kind of do like the Betard one.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And
Like how what was the first X?
That's a Gothic X. That's like a more like
Gothic X.
so more like basic Gothic X. This
Oh,
is like
I'm sorry. The fourth one. I'm sorry. Oops.
This was just an R. This was an italic X.
Mm.
Italics Italics was actually the first Western calligraphy script I learned, and I actually don't use it very often. I don't know why I kind of like abandoned it. But I just like don't practice it very often. Unsurprisingly, it's an Italian script. Pretty minimal flourishing. And as the name suggests, right, from your knowledge of computer scripts, it's done at this slanted angle.
Mm.
I spelled italics wrong. So I'm going to double down. Wow, I definitely got that wrong entirely. I do like the italic S. Itacits. But it's I like the italic S. I like the italic I. But I don't use it very often. I just don't wind up using it very often. I don't know, there's something about the lack of elaboration that makes it feel less meaningful to me. Meanwhile, this is one that that's really grown on me in the last couple of years, is insular, which is very associated with Ireland. These wedges on the left side of things that really make it stand out. Insular. I'm gonna make a slight concession to modern readability and use a slightly more modern looking R. Because the non-modern looking R's, put the letters in the wrong order. Just make the dyslexics in chat feel like they're having a stroke. Just gaslight them. Give myself a nice big stretch here. Oh, you get new paper. Because I wasn't going to do it while she was here, but I like to write people letters for their little birthday notes, and I didn't do so for Inari. And it was her birthday over the weekend, or I guess possibly last weekend. But but her birthday celebration was this last weekend. I was on for a little
their
bit.
celebration.
I did the. I was only there for the. I think you were there for more of it than I was. I just went on the Totsu. I just did the.
Yeah.
I did the Totsu and like showed up to her streams, but yeah, Inari recently had a birthday. Ooh, the camera's being very goofy.
Yeah.
Why is the camera being goofy? It's Vexing Cat. Hello, Vex. Oh my goodness, Vex, thank you for the 12 months. Thank you for the 12 months. I give you the shout out. Vex. Let's give the shout out to Vexing Cat. Yes, you were doing your Dungeons and Dragons. But yes, Vex is a very lovely reading streamer, and people gave us some compliments on the voices of the lot of us, and because you're a nerd. Yes, you are. But she does a lot of reading streams, is what she does, and she has a very, very lovely voice, a very smoky and silky voice. It's quite lovely. And this paper cooperates a little bit better with this ink. But you can still see some slight feathering. Yeah. But yeah, she's been doing a D&D campaign on her stream for a while, run by her friend Valis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's been for a long time. But you're about to say? Mr. Zonjo? You were about to say something and I interrupted you. I spoke over you. I apologize.
I forgot what I was going to say.
That happens. I apologize.
Yeah. No, you're good. What was I going to say? It left me.
Yeah, that happens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Minds are fickle things like that.
Yeah.
For a second, I had a brief moment of terror that I spelled birth wrong. That would be very silly. That would make me look like quite the fool here. But yes, it was Inari's birthday.
So what would that be in?
This is Bitard.
Bitard? Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes also Bastard Secretary, or even just Secretary, or even just Bastard. I think strictly speaking, I'm actually probably closer to doing a Bastard hand than actually doing Secretary. I'm sorry, than actually doing Bitard. Bitard tends to be a little bit less ornamental. I tend to do a pretty ornamental version of it. How do I do capitalize in this script? Because the Gothic capitalize are awesome. But I'm not doing Gothic, so... And I tend to use Gothic just because it's a crowd pleaser, but I feel like Gothic is actually really formal looking for telling my friend happy birthday.
Yeah.
Feels cold.
I've seen a couple of them, haven't I? On Twitter.
Probably. That tends to be where I post.
Yeah. I think I've seen a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah. If I was smart, I would just do them whenever. I would just do them and then have a bank of them, and then when it was somebody's birthday, I would just already have them ready to post.
Oh yeah.
If I was smart, I don't do that. I usually try to do it like the day of somebody's birthday, or like the day before. In no small part because I'm worried about like missing somebody's birthday, right? I'm like, because I don't even check Twitter every day. I'm a bad social media user.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a bad thing to not be on it so much.
Yeah, I definitely used them a little bit more when I was younger. And sometime in, I think I was using them a lot in like 2015. I was like a very active on Twitter like 2015, 2016, and then by like 2018 or certainly by 2020, I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Kind of felt that way with Instagram.
Yeah, Insta never got its hooks into me, but I have heard that Insta is I remember hearing for years people being like, Instagram is the good social media. It's the one where like you just see your friends posting photos, and then like I don't know what happened, but every time I've heard about it in the last like 2 years, people have been like, Instagram is cooking your brain. Instagram is like nuking your mind. This is like the most awful one for actually having any sort of like mental anything. I'm not that surprised that like Instagram's a particularly bad one for people, because a lot of what makes social media really bad for a lot of people is the sense of like comparison.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the part that tends to drive people kind of really insane, is the sense of like comparing themselves to other people. And Instagram, people, as Blue said, it's influencers showing their best fake lives. Very to put it mildly, I would say a very curated portrait would be what I would say would be kind of like the minimal, the generous way to put it. And I regret this now. I didn't do this while she was on stream because I was like, oh, she'll feel embarrassed, and uncomfortable. And it's like, no, that's actually funny. That was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't commit to the bit. And now I'm lost. And it's heavily edited, heavily filtered, heavily curated, and it's there's enough of a problem with like 90s magazines making people mentally ill by like only seeing people who are supermodels over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's so much worse when you're seeing like hundreds and hundreds of people and they're not being contextualized to you as like these are the best of the best. It's being contextualized to you as like this is something that like everybody does. So like I'm not that surprised that like that Instagram has become like a real nightmare for a lot of people. But I'm such like a text guy, right? I'm a text cell, and so Instagram just like doesn't really grab my attention.
Yeah.
Like I'll like look at it for a few minutes, and I like my mind just kind of like drifts over to like I could be reading a book right now. There's airbrushing from the 90s and insane photoshopping that apps can do for you in 2025. Yeah, and it's like no non-trivially a lot of that's about access. It's like accessibility. That like having access to truly good airbrushing techniques in the 90s required like a staff. You know, if you want to do Stalin stuff, you know, you need to have Stalin resources. It was skill and it was expense. And that's it's much easier to use some Instagram filters or whatever in the 21st century to you know, the one that I always think about is the Yassify one, which I always find very funny. Which doesn't necessarily make you look more attractive or aspirational, but it does make you look very funny. And of course, like a lot of this has to do with like how people contextualize and understand and think about the images they're looking at, right? Like what's the context that you encounter an image in, and like do you understand it as intended for this or that purpose? Like it's one of those things that art historians emphasize all the time, that if you're looking at, you know, an old portrait from, you know, the 1600s or even the 1500s, like they're not really intended to be accurate to people's actual body shapes and sizes. Like that's just like not actually the purpose. They're intended to more like convey things about the person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very different, right? Like it's very, very different. So that means that like there's only so much that you're supposed to be able to tell about what a person looked like from, you know, a swagger portrait from the 1500s. And so, but yeah, like getting the context that you get on social media, where it's like you're seeing people as they really are, being told that is going to change the way that you understand what the images you're looking at are.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Sorry, I'm just being driven insane by something on the screen. Son of a bitch. There we go. my understanding is that Habsburgs were substantially uglier than what we see in the portraits. The portraits captured some of the deformities, but remember that like those guys were drooling a lot. Those guys were drooling a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to head out.
All right. Thank you for
for
hanging out, Zanjo.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And yeah, it's certainly late o'clock for me over here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But yes,
Same
have a good night, Zanjo. Have a good night.
Yeah. It was nice talking to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Pleasure.
Mostly listening, but yeah.
sorry if I didn't. You said you wanted to listen.
Oh no.
More.
Yeah, I'm more of a listener than a talker. So
yeah, I was trying to meet you halfway. I do worry about talking over people, but I think I'm good at meeting people.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. And thank you for being Zanjo.
Thank you.
And let me. All right, it's just me. Like, give him the shout out at ZanjoVT. Yeah, he was doing Hollow Knight last. Let me change. Oh no, not that. Let me just change the description. Okay, we should be good. Ads are coming in just a few minutes, and I will definitely take that opportunity to get up and stretch a little bit. Being crouched over my little desk is definitely a way to make my back hurt. You know, I'm gonna use an ampersand here. I don't use ampersands very often, but it's kind of impossible to like write on this without shrimping. I could, I suppose, get more of an easel. That would make it a little bit easier. Let's keep my light Buckscoon on. My Buckscoon is no longer scalding me. So yeah, a drafting table would probably a drafting table is kind of like that's a potential future investment that I've been thinking about. You know, thinking about things that could help my streaming setup. Like the biggest thing, right, is my cameras. That's the biggest thing at the moment. Is my cameras are somewhat insufficient. but I have definitely thought about drafting tables. It's because you're telling your iPhone you don't like it. Quite possibly, quite possibly. It does look like we are hitting ads. I always hate when I miss the like run ad. There's a window where you can hit run ads, and it like it's just kind of easier. It's more predictable on when the ads start. Actually, you know what? Screw it. It does say ads are starting soon. I'll throw you over to the fan art, and I'll take that moment to stretch, use the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute. Enjoy. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. And let's... Give myself a little bit more of a stretch here. My poor back. My poor back. And let's keep on going here. Let's keep on going. I guess part of the other reason why I don't like to make these too much in advance is because not even everybody does, you know, birthday stuff, right? Not even everybody does birthday stuff for as a streamer in their streaming capacity. Right, a fair number of people just simply don't do anything for their birthdays. I'm one of them, right? I don't really like celebrating my birthday. So I've kind of carried that into VTubing, though I don't know. I reserve the right to rethink it, but I feel like I already do too many self-congratulatory streams. I know that's like part of the business, but there's definitely a point where I feel kind of uncomfortable with it. So the bees, for example, when choosing a style, what fits? How do you choose your style? Have a good night, Shashelium. I learn styles from I go from a history standpoint. I learn different historical styles. And then I kind of keep them in separate buckets. Like I don't mingle this with Gothic, right? And part of that is just because I feel like it works better aesthetically to do that, to kind of keep like a consistent style. I guess I kind of just keep a bunch of them in my head, and I tend to choose the style based on the project that I'm working on. This is a birthday message. And so I have made it, I have not gone with one of the least elaborate styles. I've not gone with, say, Foundational. Foundational is very non-elaborate. And I haven't gone with Gothic because I sometimes do birthday messages in Gothic, but Gothic feels very formal to me. It feels very, very formal to me. And so, that feels slightly inappropriate for like my friend's birthday. I don't know, it was just kind of how I was feeling for this one. So that's kind of how I do that. I definitely know that I do enough artistic flourishes with some of my calligraphy that some calligraphers have thought I was just flat out making mistakes. So there's definitely an element of just like your own creativity to it. But and if you're really canny, you'll probably notice that I've switched like how I use N's and M's just in this one project, kind of depending on how it feels to me in a given word. Like here's one N and here's a different N. And I just kind of was just total vibes. Just total vibes. I think I'm running low on ink here. Okay, yeah, definitely low on ink here. Definitely low on ink here. I am not going to dip it. I don't think that would be wise. Let's just refill it from the back. Oh, there's my syringes. There are my syringes. And little ink refill. Let's correct a bit up here a little bit. I do love these Betard W's. And let's get in here and as a viewer, as a collaborator. I should say collab mate, right? Collaborator is the more proper English, but we always say collab mate. I do love the loop. I do love the loop. I don't do the loops with too many other scripts. It's really just something I kind of do with Betard. But I do like doing it. There we go. I think I'm gonna just call it there. I think that's gonna be the pretty bad A right there. Alrighty. So, happy birthday, Inari. Oh, hold on, let's make sure I can get this on the camera right. Happy birthday, Inari. You are one of the great treasures of VTubing. A delight and a gem. One of the finest among us. It is always a joy to get to spend time with you. As a viewer, as a collab mate, and as a friend. Almantas. On that note, I know it's a shorter stream than I usually like to do, but I am quite out of it, and I mostly just want to make sure that I got on the schedule and did something with myself today. That's really about where my brain was at. No stream, no schedule this week. No schedule this week at all. I am going to this is Gorilla Week. If the extremely low probability of me tomorrow or Wednesday, not impossible, but very low probability. Thursday is pretty low probability. I don't even know what the rest of my week holds. But yes, we're going to go over to Ratmost, who I adore, and Ratmost is playing Dwarf Fortress. So let's go over and say hi to her. My Discord is where I'm the most active, probably followed by Blue Sky. And let's just do a simple geezer raid. And if you are subbed, that's the... Oh, hold on. Wait, what? I don't know why that didn't post. Okay, there it did. It did go through. All right, everybody, have a lovely night. Thank you for coming here. I'm finding it very hard to plan anything for the next like 24 hours, so I will keep you guys posted. The rest of the summer should be much more stable. It is really, this week is a real nightmare. Other than some trips I have planned for later in the summer, I should be streaming very readily. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely night.